buttoned up I should be on this.
I got you. Bam, guys. We are here. We are live. John and I started talking this afternoon, and my preseason All-22 showed up for the Raiders game a little while ago, and I messaged John. And I happened to be watching JT O'Sullivan do the Daniel Jones debacle quarterback breakdown on the QB school, and I said, you know what? Why don't we just do this live? Why don't we just pull the tape up and go through it, and we'll talk through what we see as we do. And, this is going to be this is going to be a little bit raw. I haven't watched the All-22 at all for this week, so this is going to be fun. Other than marking where the pass plays are for the most part, that's all I've pretty much done. So this is going to be cool. It's going to be live. It's going to be fun. And let's get into it. Here, let's go. Bam. Okay, we can see that. Okay, huh? There we go. Jackpot.
Good to me.
There we go. Okay, so we're 3-3 in the second quarter. This is the first. This is not the first play. This is the first pass of Trey Lance's time in at quarterback. The Cowboys put Trey Lance in at the late part of the first quarter, ran a couple of run plays with Deuce Vaughn with some success, some free blocking inside. And then we got to the Trey Lance experience at quarterback here. So they're at the 27-yard line. It's 1st and 10, and they're in this. Well, this is about as old school as you get, right? the offset eye, this old school West Coast offense here.
Good old 21.
Yeah, the 21. But the part that's interesting is this guy right there, not Hunter Lepke. That's a tight end. So.
If you hear when I don't know how many people in here listen to the Broadus and Bobby Belt podcast, but Broadus was talking about how if they didn't have Hunter Lepke, he thinks that our boy Princeton Fant would have a real shot to make the roster because they would be playing him in the Hunter Lepke role, as we were seeing here, where you play inline tight end, you play fullback, you play H-back. Play all those fun little spots in the backfield and around the line of scrimmage. So apparently he's their Lepke light.
Yeah, and we have seen Lepke play, on the line of scrimmage in the preseason, all that kind of stuff. It's also interesting here that you still have Cooper Beebe in at center. You have Tyler Guyton at left tackle. So this is, the best offensive line that Trey Lance played with for the game was this first drive here. And this, I believe, if I remember right, John, was just a straight pass play action with a deep shot. And so this is if we get back to our buddy JT O'Sullivan, this is one of the things that he hates. So this is just straight play action. This guy's running a go. There's no double move or anything out there. This guy's running a go here. And then this guy is kind of running a middle. It's kind of 3 verticals if you want to think of it that way. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to run play action this way. And Trey's going to drop back, make the play action fake, and then get to 7 steps here. And he takes his drop, and it looks like it's like a predetermined alert kind of read because he never looks anywhere else. Now, granted, he's a little bit hot. We'll get to the protection part when we get to the end zone. But that there's never a point in this route when I think that's our guy, Tyron Billy Johnson up there at the top, where he has any sort of leverage, any sort of position on this corner. This is like they're in off coverage at the snap, and he never gets there. So it's
one of those throws that you throw to Tyreek because he's fast enough to outrun the cornerback, even though he's out leveraged and capped.
Exactly.
But last time I checked, Tyron Billy Johnson isn't Tyreek Hill.
Not Tyreek Hill, exactly. And so it is interesting. Like we'll skip to the end zone view here. I like the other one better for pass pro and stuff. So what you're going to wind up seeing is you wind up seeing this here. So they're essentially, when you get a 5-man surface like this, most of the time you're going to get some sort of bob, big on big protection, where the 5 offensive linemen are going to be responsible for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys here. And then if you're in 7-man protection, which this is because of the play action, then you're going to give one of the backers, this backer probably to the fullback, and then the running back is going to run the play action fake, and then if you get a blitz here, he's going to try to peel off and take that protection. And so you see the play action fake, and so you get
the tight
two
end.
to block one. Well, Let's Go gets washed.
Yeah. Common.
Yeah. Tyler Guyton's getting the block done. It's not exactly beautiful over here, but you wind up, I wonder if, I don't think he's hot because they have enough guys, right? They know there's almost no way he's hot here.
The only way he could think he's hot is if that safety that's coming down and ends up bailing to cover Schoon, if he like gets a glimpse of him like coming down and thinks, oh snap, that's a blitz, that's an extra one. Like number one comes sprinting down, kind of
because
turns as Lance's head turns back for the play action.
Absolutely. And you wonder if, because one of the things that, we'll talk about a lot throughout the course of the season, JT talks about this a lot on the channel, is why are you running play action? Like we talk about how play action works, pretty much no matter what, all that kind of stuff. But what's the point of the play action fake in the backfield? Because it does make the drop more complicated for the quarterback. The quarterback does have to turn his head away from the coverage. It makes things harder for the quarterback to execute that fake. So why are you executing the fake to throw down a silo down here on the outside? Which makes me
who's man turned.
Exactly. So it makes me think that this wasn't it makes me think he made the wrong decision. It makes me think that the idea of the play action was, and it works, is to create this massive amount of space right here in the middle of the field. Because if you hit, you throw this ball to like here, right about now, when he's at the top of his drop, if he throws this ball in this area right here, it's a completion. He may, if you throw it this way, he's probably got a little better shot to run with it. If you throw it early and quick, he's got a big shot at it. But again, just watch it develop here. Boom, he's on his back step, and he's already decided where he's going with the ball. Like there's no way he's looking out there saying, yep, that's my guy. Where my guy is capped by 4 yards here, and I'm going to throw it up there, and he's going to outrun his guy to the spot. Like there's just, unless there's something that they knew matchup-wise, which doesn't make any sense for week 2 of the preseason, to think that Tyron Billy Johnson could run by number 0, that cornerback there. But you can see it as they rock and roll the safety here. The safety comes down, boom, play fake. I wonder if he just saw them roll to closed and just immediately, because you can see he's kind of eyes here, and then he's shoulders and stuff immediately out there. I wonder if he saw him roll to middle of the field closed and just assumed like, okay, that's where I'm supposed to go with the ball.
Yeah.
That's almost got to be what it is.
Seems plausible for sure.
But this is the fun Cooper Beebe.
I was going to say, yeah.
This is the Cooper Beebe highlight right here. He's going to take 2 for 1 here.
I'm pretty sure Deuce has got to come across to get 41 there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Guys on one linebacker, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You basically have 2 to block 1 and then 2 to block 3 here. And so this is one of those that it's a really hard block for your running back to make coming off a play action like draw fake like that to get over there and make that block. But you kind of want him to. That's supposed to be the protection call. But Cooper Beebe with the 2 for 1 and the slab on top. Yeah, just a fantastic play there. All right, so this is 2nd down and 10. This is the next play. I believe. Yeah, so I think we saw this play last week. This is the crack escort here. Yeah, okay. So here we'll go back to the start of the play. I'll draw this up here. This is a cool play. This is the play that gives me hope for them if they had to go with Trey Lance for a game. So they motion Schoonmaker in. He starts out wide over here and shifts in here. That's just to get people talking. There's not a whole lot going there. What the play winds up being is you get a crack from the wide receiver here on the linebacker, and then you've got like an inside zone read here where Trey Lance has the opportunity to keep it. And the fun part is this escort motion right here. So because you have this lead block coming in here, you get the seal on the inside, and then you wind up with a lead blocker, a tight end, running out here with the opportunity to lead block on a secondary player with your very athletic quarterback coming behind you. And I think it winds up being a pretty decent play here. Yeah. Now, Schoon doesn't make the block, so you wind up having a little bit of, Trey Lance having to play hero ball instead of, if he's able to settle and make this block, you may have something here out here on this edge with as much room as there is and with Trey Lance running. Yeah. But once he's got to widen out there even more with the guy chasing him, it gives
that block's hard. It's almost impossible too when the quarterback goes to the sideline. It's built in the quarterback to go up that little lane in the alleyway.
Yep, absolutely.
Max Crosby prevents that and
out. Yep, 100%. So you'll see the crack. You'll see the wide receiver come in. He gets some help from the scheme. So that's what you're hoping for, right? Mm-hmm. Help from the scheme on the flow. The wide receiver is here to crack. You've got the escort motion and Trey Lance coming this way. This is going, at this point, about as well as you can expect it to go. The only problem is that this guy right here is really freaking good. Yeah. That guy's an all-pro playing against your what you started the season with, a guy who's probably not making your roster at 79 there. And so, yeah, if this is one of those where if Schoonmaker knows he's got to go to the sideline, he probably gets out there on him a little bit more, but he's expecting him to have this alley right here and be able to run inside. And then once he goes outside, it's toast. But that's a great play by a great player in a preseason game.
Still positive for the good guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's positive for a few reasons. It's positive for me because of design, right? It's a well-designed. It's not just we're going to run inside zone and not do anything else with it and then give the quarterback the chance to pull it based on what Max Crosby does. It gives the quarterback it gives another layer on top of that traditional stuff, and it kind of builds off of the play-action pass game that you see a lot, with the guy the slide kind of play-action game that you see with the tight end going to the flat all the time. Okay, so we'll go back here. So we're going to see, I think this is stick here. Let's see. Or is this double slants? What's the tight end do here? Yeah, okay, so you've got double slants here. So you've got what is usually, it's supposed to be a one-step slant from the inside guy. It's a little bit weird to run it from run it with a tight end. And then you've got like a three-step slant here. And then I don't know what the backside concept is. It's probably some version of stick or double outs or something like that. Yep. Boom. Yep. So here's stick. Right. So he's going to run a 5-yard stick, and then he's going to run a go. Yeah. So from a concept standpoint, you wind up with this, and it's 3rd and 2. So this is a pretty decent time to run this. You've got the go outside here, probably must outside release. You've got a 5-yard stick. He's going to turn, and then if it's man, he's going to run away from it. Is usually the way it works. And then you've got double slants here. So you've got a 1-step slant here is how it usually should be, and then a 3-step slant here. And most of the time, the ball's either going to go here to the stick or here to this second slant. And it's kind of a pick-a-side concept for the quarterback. So he probably likes the shorter throw because it's the boundary side. He's got off coverage here against the slant. He probably feels pretty good that this defender right here, based on alignment, is going to be playing man. So you kind of, and it winds up a lot of times being a pick-a-side play where it's if you think you got zone, you're going to throw stick. If you think you got man, you're going to throw the slants. And so he's going to, what you'll usually do is your eyes will first go to this inside slant right here to force that inside defender. But then as soon as your foot hits the back, and he does it here, does it pretty well, ball comes out.
Too high.
Just high. Yep, that's exactly what it is. And we'll get to the behind the end zone, behind him view here. And, we talked about the mug look. We're going to see that from Zimmer a lot. And we've talked about the running back coming up right here to make the protection so that now you have a 6-man surface. Mm-hmm.
They're also putting the running back there so that you don't have to have the center dictate where he's going to turn. He's going to turn right.
Exactly.
Most likely, because then Vaughn's going to take on the other most dangerous linebacker.
Exactly. Yeah, and probably I would guess, I'm pretty sure Dak would do it this way with this guy right there too. That's why they want to slide the offensive line to that side and have them sort that out and know that there's a chance that if one of these guys comes, there's a pretty good chance one of these guys is going to drop out.
Yeah.
And so it gives you that ability to be flexible in your protection there. So they're going to get they're going to talk through it. Deuce is up where he's supposed to be, filling up in the A gap. And then you just see him, just very straightforward. And look what happens. This guy comes, right? And this is a fun little sim pressure here from Patrick Graham. You got 3 rushing this side, 2 drop out of this side, but then 1 also drops here because you get the safety. Yeah, so you wind up in protection world, you wind up with 3 to block 1, but then you still have 3 to block 3 here. And so that's why you slide that offensive line to that extra guy, because more than likely, if the extra guy comes, one of these guys is going to go, and we're happy to have that blocked up. If all 3 come, we at least have a man for a man on the whole thing. So,
and like we've talked about with the Zimmer thing, for the Raiders, it's good because they're forcing 6 people in pass protection and only rushing 4. So that means that they're going to have a couple extra defenders in coverage.
Exactly. And so you see that manifest right here where these 2 guys are now in coverage. You have 6 in pass pro. Now luckily Deuce is going to check release here, and he's almost always going to do that in that situation. And you see the slant come in here, and you get Trey, if we get to the drop from Trey, he's going to go boom, boom, pop. And he's quick, and he just is a little bit out front for me. Just a little bit.
About his front foot too. It doesn't seem like he opens the alleyway as much as he should.
Yeah, I mean, different guys approach that different ways. He does feel like his front foot has a lot of inconsistency. And so what John's talking about here is you can see the front foot lined up almost parallel there with that, almost right on top of that yard marker. And he's throwing, it creates the situation where he's essentially, his feet are pointed this way and he's trying to make the throw that way. And so it creates some difficulty that can lead to some inaccuracies. And so I think you're definitely onto something on the front foot inconsistency causing some problems.
And another thing that JT talked about repeatedly on his thing that I've noticed more and more, when he goes to throw, his head level moves so much, it bounces.
Absolutely. So
remain accurate when your eye level is not the same consistently throughout the entire throw. I mean, if you look at the best mechanic throwers, like the Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, the Joe Burrows, is like their head level stays the exact same throughout the entire throwing motion. And that's a big reason why they're able to remain accurate so consistently. Yeah. You see how that little bounce?
Yep. So his head is here. And now the camera moves a little bit, so it's a little bit not super fair, but yeah, that's a lot of camera wiggle on that angle there. That's not a great look at it, but you can still see the bounce even though the camera moves. You can go back and look at like the yard line and see how much his head kind of rises. And I think a lot of that has to do, like I said, he's a little bit out over his front foot for me, and he's got that inconsistency in his placement there. So that is, they're going to wind up punting there, and then you wind up getting into this series where they run the ball a lot. And then the next time you wind up with the ball for a Trey Lance pass, it's 1st and 10, second quarter, 6:21. You like the communication pre-snap. They're in a 2x2, which again, so that just means 2 wide receivers this side, or 2 pass catchers this side, 2 pass catchers this side, super balanced. This is as old school spread, shotgun offense as it gets.
Interesting that the Raiders are running a reduced over front too, with the strong side defensive end and like a 4, like almost a 3 tech.
Yeah, this looks like a big guy right here. This is like a Sam linebacker, almost defensive end type. So this is one of the benefits of these sets, and this is why we pay John the big bucks here. Is he's catching this stuff, right? So we've talked before about defenses want to be 3/2 or 4/3. So the Cowboys have 2 wide receivers out here, right? 1, 2 out there, and we'll play and we'll change the marker color here, okay? Mm-hmm. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 here. So you've got now that you're 3 over your 2. And so what that gives you the ability to do is you now have the opportunity to sort out any, this kind of releases or anything like that, or one guy goes this way and one guy comes this way. You now have the ability to handle all of those types of route combinations there. And then over here, you wind up, you're really probably, you're accounting for it that way with the safety over the top. So you're 3 over 2 out here with more space between them over here. You're less worried about that. And you also know on this side, you do have the back over here. So you're a lot more likely to get some sort of a flat release there from the back. So let's see what concept they're running. Okay, so it's
a slot fade with a
it's like a slot fade kind of with a stop route here, and then I think it's just double hitches.
Trying to take advantage of that bottom corner sitting in that that little squat like that. They're trying to stretch his zone by having him creep. I think if they wanted to take the big shot, they would hope that the cornerback hangs on this hook so that the slot fade is open.
Exactly. So you're hoping to run, the kind of wheel slot fade, but instead you get the corner turn and running. So you get the corner turn and run that way. So now all of a sudden the stop becomes the throw here. So, and you can see, so he finally separates, he gets collision here, which also doesn't help. He may have been able to get into the seam, it's covered. So they're enclosed, they're middle of field closed, where you're going to wind up with the safety rolls down here, and you've got 1, 2, 3, and then you've got a curl flat, curl flat, exactly. Boom, pow, right there. So you're rushing 4, you're dropping 7, and it's 3 deep. So you got a guy in the middle of the field. So as an offense, usually you want to attack that coverage here, or out here.
Attack the green grass, baby.
Exactly. Find the grass. And so what winds up happening is, because it works out well, because this guy, this linebacker type guy right there, collisioning, I think that's John Stevens, so hard on that, keeps him inside. So you almost create a little bit of a rub inside out on this curl flat player. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things and you can see how hard, you compare it to the guy up at the top, this defensive line linebacker type there, he just sprints to the flat, right? Because he knows his job is not to get out leveraged to the flat. He's got help inside. He does not have help underneath and outside. And so he sprints out there. And so you wind up, they cover this 3 over 2 here, this triangle right here. But you wind up with this collision here. It sort of creates a rub and keeps this guy inside and leaves this window of grass out here for Trey Lance to put the ball into. And I think we got to give Trey Lance some credit here. Ball is up, being ready to be out. He's not in his break yet. I think old JT would do one of those guys, right?
Yeah.
And this is awesome, because he is right now, he is either predetermined based on what he saw pre-snap, which I don't know how you would determine this pre-snap that you're throwing this stop route here, or he's reading and seeing, pow, I'm at the top of my drop, this corner is turning and running, boom, this ball's coming out here. So he's probably got, I wonder if this is supposed to be, we talked about it being a slot fade. I wonder if it's supposed to be more like an outside release kind of seam, because a lot of times NFL guys will run seams up the numbers. Like college guys a lot of times will run the seams in here, but the NFL will consider the seams the numbers and then run the outside routes wider. So I wonder if that's kind of him releasing to the seam, because you see him fighting for that spot on the numbers. Yeah. And then he kind of runs straight instead of running there. So I bet it's supposed to be, instead of slot fade, I bet it's supposed to be stop and a seam route there.
And if you look at it, they're mirrored concepts, and you look at the other guy who's in the slot, it's just very similar, that he gets to the numbers and he kind of keeps it straight. And when he sees the quarterback look the other way, he kind of just gears down.
But either way, we'll get to the end zone view here, because this is going to be cool to watch. So you get 5 and a hitch. Ball's out, a little bit of pressure in his face, anticipation. That's just pretty good quarterback play right there. Which we talked last week. There was only, 4 or 5 of these kind of positive plays for Trey Lance last week. And here we are, just a handful of his plays in, and we've already got 2 or 3 of them with the run earlier, and then this play here, bop, 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 and you see him. He will come here, ball snap, boom. Look where his eyes are, straight down the middle of the field. So he's looking to see if it's closed or open. Because if it's open, he's probably supposed to go one. They do all that kind of stuff, right? And so he's here, and then as soon as he identifies a coverage, bam, head snaps that way. His feet are already starting to line up this way. He's already got this back foot flared out here where he can turn his shoulders. Pow. I'd like to see, you'd like to see him like turn and snap his feet and his shoulders a little more instantly. But he gets there, just does it on the hitch, and then poof, fastball, a little bit low. You'd like to see him hit the guy right in the face where he could, maybe turn and run with it a little bit. But nice, good enough throw, completion. Nice to see from Trey Lance. That's, he's playing quarterback there, identifying guys, moving guys around. All right, next play, 4:34 in the second quarter, 1st and 10. So they're here 3-by-1. So you got 1, 2, 3 here, and you can see they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side coverage here. And then you got 1 over here, and so they're going to ISO this up probably.
Yeah, you can get it. The Cowboys have the ability to do a fast forward too.
Yep, absolutely. And so you get the roll. So you pre-snap, you get the safety. So they're showing close where this guy's going to go here and this guy's going to roll here into the hole. And then boom, they're rolling out of it. So now this guy's going to go this way, this guy's coming this way, and you're going to get some based on his angle. You're getting some sort of 2.
Yeah, I was going to say that does not look like a quarters rotation.
No, quarters would be more in here at about 12 yards or so. Yeah. This is like true old-fashioned cover 2, and there's your middle linebacker, your Mike linebacker, hips turned to the passing strength. So in a 3-by-1 formation, your passing strength is the 3-person side. This guy's going to turn his eyes and his shoulders to that side, and he's going to run the pole here if there's a vertical threat here. He sees pretty quick that there's not a vertical threat, and so you see him settle. So they get to 2, boom. Are they running triple slants down here? It looks like. Mike's gonna run his slants, man. It looks like that. It looks like they're kind of doing this number here, and then I don't know what the guy on the backside's doing. It doesn't really matter. He could run all kinds of stuff back here, but
Lion.
Yep, and he goes all the way inside out too. So he's gonna go. It's crazy that it looks like he does read this 1, 2, 3. Usually this guy's kind of just a clear out and you're kind of just reading this 1, 2.
Does a good job working his way through the disguise too, because initially by alignment, you'd want to throw it to the second slant because the cornerback aligned with outside leverage.
Yep, exactly. So
the linebacker, is going into that wall off technique. That would be the perfect opportunity to throw the second slant, but he notices that what is that, the nickel, the slot corner?
Yep.
He goes into a zone drop.
Yeah, so usually NFL teams will have some sort of a divider line here somewhere on the field where, depending on coverage, whether the wide receiver lines up inside or outside of that line will tell the defender whether to play outside leverage or inside leverage. And so what they're showing here, and this is actually a good job by this cornerback type right there for the Raiders of carrying out the disguise all the way to the detail. And so you're showing, we talked about it earlier, that you're showing some sort of middle field closed coverage initially, where you're showing this guy's going to rotate here and this guy's going to be down, which in that kind of hook robber type world, this guy would drop. And then this guy could stay pressed. He might bail at the snap. And then you wind up with that same kind of 4 under 3 deep look that we had before. But when they roll it, now what you're going to wind up with usually is a corner who rolls up tight, and then this guy would normally have inside leverage in a cover 2 look because he's trying to funnel and push everybody right to that safety in the middle. He does not want guys to go to the middle of the field in cover 2. In cover 1, he's got a safety here in the middle, or in cover 3, he's got a safety here. He wants to force this route in here because that's where his help is. But on this one, because the safety rolls there, now you see how quick he jumps in there. This is a great look here, John. I'm glad you pointed this one out. Watch this corner here. He's aligned up outside to make the quarterback think it's cover 1 or a middle of field close. And then right at the snap, pow, look how quick he gets inside. And this is how you wind up with a guy understepping a slant and taking it back for 6 in this situation. Is the quarterback predetermines, oh, I got closed, he's got leverage, I'm throwing the second slant right there. Boom, pow, ball comes out. But he doesn't. You see him? And we'll go to the end zone here, and we'll get the real look here. So boom, you see him go to that second slant. Nope, don't like it. And then you see his shoulders and hips turn. Boom, ball goes outside. Yeah. Doom, doom, pop. Nope. Fastball right at his head. Look, it's going to hit him in the face if he doesn't catch it. Boom, catch. And that's like those are gimme yards. You take those yards all day long. All right, next. Second quarter, 3:58 left, or 2:58 left, about 3 minutes. Condensed look from the Cowboys. This is my favorite kind of offense right here. Bring everybody inside the numbers because the defenders have to still protect outside the numbers. So you wind up with a bunch of guys in here and not very many guys in here. And you can do all kinds of stuff over the middle of the field. So you get the little shift, and so you're going to shift to this 3-by-1 bunch look over here. So you wind up usually with a lot of crossing releases out of this. Let's see what they do here. So they're going to go boot. And so what you're almost always going to see on this is you're going to see the boot here come this way. This guy is going to run a crosser, an over route like that. And this is the guy you're trying to get the ball to right here. Then you'll usually have, somebody will usually run deep from a bunch that like this. They usually run a corner or something like that, but it could be a post too. It doesn't matter.
This is also where you see the biggest in vogue play that everybody loves. Why leak, baby?
There you go. Yes, you could fake it here. He pretends like he blocks down the line here, and then
big
away
play.
He goes. That's how, yes, you can hit some huge plays that way. But yeah, so he's going to come down here and block, and you'll see Flournoy is going to take this slow release here, and then he's going to turn and release out to the flat. And then it looks like Schoonmaker is going to take an even slower release and take a slow flat release here. And then this guy's supposed to be there, but he's just getting destroyed by the point man there on the coverage. And then this guy's going to run across here. And so you can see, all right, here comes Flournoy releasing out to the flat. You see the over route coming. They've kind of got it. The safety's jumping it. Everybody knows what's coming here. And you've got the flat route open here. Boom, nice and easy. Could you argue, hey, maybe he should have thrown it, a step sooner? Come out here, boom, boom, pop, and throw it right now. Instead of taking 3 or 4 more steps to get it out, maybe. Because if he just puts his foot, kind of puts his foot in the ground and throws it right here, the ball's going to be completed and his guy's got a chance. Because if he puts it here, he's got a chance to make this guy miss with some room here and make a play. But that's all right. Super safe play, easy completion. And I think this next play is one of my favorite plays of the game, if I remember what it was. Yeah, this 2nd and 7, 2:47 left. The next play, and this is the opposite side of the same concept, I believe. Yep, so here's the boot. They're not in bunch, but it's the same idea. So this guy's going to run the deep crosser. You'll see this a million times this year. This guy is going to run deep. He may run a post. He may run a corner. He may run straight. It doesn't matter. This guy's going to run like that and probably release that way, and then this guy is going to release out here. And in that situation, Hey, look, it's like we know what we're talking about.
Mhm.
In this situation, the most dangerous thing that can happen is an unblocked defender
Slot blitz.
off the backside. And sometimes it's a slot blitz. Sometimes it's because they're in that kind of reduced kind of overfront, like you were talking about earlier, where they've got this guy way down inside here, nobody on the edge, and then they've got a linebacker type overhang type player here.
Mhm.
Same
This one's
kind of front.
actually more reduced under because the three mixed
Yeah.
it up.
Yes, you're right. But it's that same idea of this kind of detached overhang defender here, and it gives the defense a lot of flexibility to know what they're doing. And so in this situation, this guy comes, and so this becomes a super dangerous situation. This is worst case scenario on one of these nakeds for the quarterback.
Yeah.
And so what you need to do as a quarterback is make your fake and then get depth immediately. You don't want to come out of here shallow like this, because if you come out of here shallow, you're toast. You don't give yourself a shot at all. But you see Trey, and watch, he'll make the fake, and then we'll see how much ground he covers. So he makes the fake at the 33-yard line, and then immediately gets 5 yards of depth before he gets hardly any width. Just crosses the hash and gets 5 yards of depth. And that depth, combined with just the natural athletic ability that he has. This is the kind of stuff that gets you drafted 3rd overall when you played like 14 snaps in college, is the natural athletic ability to come out of that fake, get that depth, get your head snapped around and realize, oh, bleep, I got to get this ball out. And instead of, sliding down and taking a sack or trying to do something dumb and make the guy miss, all right, turn, flip your hips, get the ball to your guy in the flat.
Impressive too that when he makes the turn, he gives himself more room.
Exactly. Yes. So he's boom, and like you said, he keeps drifting. Like he continues to. And I don't know. I'm sure he probably did based on the way he throws the ball. I bet he played some baseball in his life. I bet he played some shortstop or some second base or something like that. And because the ability to get your hips turned in the air like that, flip your feet like Jumpman style there, and get enough on the ball to get the ball right in the face mask of your receiver. This may be one of the most impressive plays we've seen from Trey Lance in 2 weeks.
These are the kind of plays that make Patrick Mahomes so difficult, because he can make still accurate throws from different throwing platforms, different footwork patterns, different, body positions. This is similar. Obviously, he doesn't do it as well or as frequently as Patrick Mahomes, but this is those type of plays.
Right, because as a defensive coordinator, if I call a slot blitz against the naked, I feel like I won.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like we picked the right play on the play sheet. The guy executed it the right way. You can see him turn here. He's kind of coming down hard, and then he turns as soon as he realizes it's a fake. Boom, goes up the field. He's going. He knows where the target is for the quarterback. Trey sees him, builds depth, and turns what should have been at the very least a neutral play, a non-positive play, at worst a sack that's an 8 or 12-yard loss, and he turns it into a first down on 2nd and 7. Like that is really good quarterback play right there. That is, we're going to make a difference as the quarterback, and we'll get a good angle here of the feet and all the boom. There it is. That you cannot play that play any better than that in that situation.
Yep.
So that is quality. That is very good. All right. Now this is the fun drive right here, I believe. This is the 2-minute drive. Well, no, they have one more after this because they have they got like 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
So here we go.
66er.
Yep. 2nd and 1. And this is just a special athlete being special.
Mm-hmm.
So some of this stuff, like, you can't coach. And this is the kind of stuff we talk about when we say, hey, as a back, if you have a backup quarterback, a guy with special physical talent, special athleticism is kind of what you want, because he's going to get you out of some bad situations. Like, your quarterback would get you out of it by, seeing things right, making the right adjustments pre-snap, getting you to the right play, making the crazy good, the right perfect read every time, all that kind of stuff. Your backup quarterback sometimes is going to have to take a top 10 pick and just be more athletic than him and beat him to the corner and convert a 3rd and 1.
Tyree Wilson.
In a situation where, again, if you play this here, if you're in this situation right here, in no world do you expect this to turn into a first down. This is one of those How I Met Your Mothers. Like, you may be wondering how I found myself here.
What a terrible angle by Tyree Wilson.
It was bad.
Oh, I feel so bad for the Raiders that they picked him top 10.
No, I mean, they made their own choices. They made their own decisions. That's just the inside run. Here we go. Second one. I believe this is the touchdown throw here. And so remember last week, we saw Trey Lance just like
airmail,
shank foul ball, airmail a ball outside the dotted line, outside the end zone on a wide open. It was a relatively similar concept to what they have here. They've got this kind of situation going down here. And then this is just kind of a slant fade type situation down here. We saw him airmail this ball last week where this guy was wide open and he threw it way the heck out there. This is much better here. Much better touch, much better placement. Step. Really good base. Touch. Give your guy a chance. Like, you can't, that's exactly how you draw that up, especially with a guy getting that wide open. And I think it's one of those where he probably sees, let's see when he releases the ball. So he sees how much room he's got there. This is just don't miss a layup. Just do not airmail this throw. Put this ball where he can catch it somewhere. I don't have to worry about that corner being involved in the play. Just get it to my guy where he can make a play. I don't have to thread a needle here. Puts it right on his face.
How about your 5th-round rookie receiver doing up a legitimate NFL cornerback at the last?
Yes, this is a starting NFL cornerback that, if you're like me and you had to watch the Raiders broadcast on NFL Plus, this is a guy that they are very excited about in Las Vegas.
He was actually like a Pro Bowl, all pro-ish level nickelback for the Patriots, but then he had all of those off the field things, and they released him. So then he got picked up by the Raiders. He's the only reason I remember him a lot is he's a former Arizona State Sun Devil.
There you go.
College, but he's a legitimate, actually like a above average cornerback in the NFL. And the fact that Flournoy is able to make him grasp him for ghosts at the line of scrimmage is such a great
wide open in the NFL in the red zone. Just like that is ridiculously wide open.
Like playing 3 flies up.
Yes. All right, next play. Okay, so this is the 30-second drive that results in the kick from Vegas all the way to Los Angeles. Empty. Looks like Hank. Looks like Hank there. Everybody's favorite curl flat concept. So, yeah, exactly. So you're going to get some sort of a curl here. You're going to get a flat here. And you're going to get a flat here, and then this guy is going to come settle in the middle. So you wind up with kind of 3 guys across here, 2 guys across here. Nobody's running away from anybody, and it can be a really it's a tough play. But the Cowboys love it. I think Dak loves it. I don't know why.
Well, Dak loves it because it's one of those like get him in rhythm throws.
Yeah.
Dak prefers to throw to targets that are stationary looking at him are his favorite. And he feels like those kind of throws get him in rhythm. So you'll see the Cowboys actually do it a lot, like early in games to try to get, because we all know Dak is a rhythm passer.
Yep. I think they should just like call his own read and let him run and roll through somebody in the first drive, and then he's good to go.
One would think.
But I mean, if you're going to run this concept, you get the little chip out there.
30 seconds left.
Right, because they don't care. They don't necessarily care at the 12-yard line. They don't care about. We're not trying to go score necessarily at the 12-yard line. We're like, hey, go execute, Trey, play real football. They drop super deep. Everybody's back past the stick, so nobody's going to be open here. Throw it down here. Boom. Nice, easy 8 yards. Get out of bounds, and it becomes 2nd and 2. 1st and 10 now, 17 seconds left. Here we go again. Whew. This must be all they had in the 2-minute for this drive. Same play.
Man, one thing Tyler Guyton does a consistently good job of is that when rushers take an inside move on him, he just clears them out.
Yes,
all the way
he's going to take them. Yes, he's going to wash them all the way across America.
And it gives, Lance that big, giant window to step in through to either throw or, like he says, if he doesn't see any receivers, just trot it for a couple yards.
Yep, so this is the same exact play from it, maybe the same exact formation. Just curl, flat, curl, flat, curl, with a little chip help here on the right side because Matt Waletzko's not very good.
Yeah, to say the least.
You got some chip help. So you actually have double chip help from the running back here. So it just kind of keeps everything inside. You're not getting edge pressure here because you got 2 chips. Guyton's going to wash his guy down.
Deuce's chip?
Yeah.
quote unquote chip?
Yeah, it's like one of those, the bottom of the bag chips.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the thing is, Trey Lance could have come down here and thrown the same exact throw here. I don't necessarily know why he didn't. I really wonder what he's coming off, why he came off of it so early. What's he seeing? Oh, it looks like he was looking right here. And then when this guy gets collisioned, he must be thinking, I've got room over here, is what he's got to be thinking. Which, I mean, I guess he's kind of right.
I just can't stop laughing at Deuce's attempted chip block. He falls.
Oh, dang, yeah. And so he falls. That's what it is he's thinking he's going to get the chip here, and then because of the alignment here, he's going to wind up with Deuce against this linebacker type right here out in space, and he's going to get a chance to catch it and run it. And then when Deuce whiffs on the chip, and then because of that, he doesn't have leverage anymore. He gets collisioned, and okay, now we're out the door, and he's going to run. And, screenshot warriors will say, like, hey, throw the ball right here. But that's like a never in history. This is like that throw. I'm trying to remember what game it was last year. Dak made a throw like this, like running to his left, never squared his hips, and just and it was a beautiful throw. And it wound up like 2 feet outside the boundary, and the guy caught it and got 1 foot down or dropped it or something like that.
That was like a home throw in the Super Bowl where he went horizontal.
Yes, yeah, it was one of the best throws of Dak's career last year, and it was incomplete, but nobody wanted to acknowledge it. But yeah, so then he gets out here, and then it's just be an athlete, right? Okay, none of my guys initially came open. I need to get out of bounds because we're at 17 seconds left. Get some positive yardage, get out of bounds, live to play the next play. That's about all you can ask. This has got to be what it is. Let's watch his helmet stripe and see if he's looking at Deuce off the snap. No, he's looking up the middle right here. Mm-hmm. Boom, he's looking right here. This guy's captain covered. And I wonder if he saw the color flash in front of him. Like, I wonder if he saw that. I wonder if he saw this guy coming here with Tyler escorting him across America and was like, oh, crap, okay, I got to get out of here. Whoop. And he thought about it, too. Yeah. Mailbox down here, throw it down here.
He wanted to.
He wanted to, but he knew he needed to get some yards. That's all right. That's pretty decent quarterback play. Get out of the pocket, make a play. And then here is, this is like super situationally aware type stuff. 3-by-1. I bet it's Hank. Whoop. Oh, no, it's not. We actually have a runaway here. And this is one of those where, like, he could have stepped up and just drilled this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he should have, but look at all that space. Like, right now he's looking right there thinking, I'm getting to the 50-yard line. And he slides, and they showed the replay. He slid with 2 seconds left, just enough time for the timeout. Like,
smart,
about as well executed as you can because he was not, and we'll see it. Let's go to the other angle from behind him. We'll be able to see maybe the surroundings a little better. Hitch, not there. Look at this big old opening. I'm really fast. I'm going to go.
And I know I'm always looking at the lineman just because I am, but it's just funny how, like, watching Tyler Guyton in comparison to Matt Waletzko. Look at the pocket that Guyton creates with a strong anchor, whereas Waletzko just keeps getting back. Like, gets within a foot of Lance, whereas Guyton just builds a wall.
Yeah, so Guyton takes that initial hit, boom, and then settles, boom, and then doesn't move. Waletzko just keeps walking. Yeah, that's just good situational quarterback play. Give them the opportunity for the big field goal there. 1st and 10, their first drive of the quarter. I bet if you gave 10 guys who know football 3 guesses, 80% of 8 of them would, in those 3 guesses, guess that this is what the Cowboys start out with from a concept standpoint. So it's like double hitch here, slant flat out there.
Dragon.
Yep. So he keeps saying dragon line. So dragon in the West Coast lingo, in the Mike McCarthy version of the West Coast offense, dragon is a slant here with a flat here. Lion is 2 slants, and my drawings are bad because I'm just drawing with it on a handboard on the laptop. But 2 slants would be lion. Slant flat is dragon. So you get the motion from 3x1 to 2x2. You get double sticks, boom, right there.
Perfect defensive call for it.
Yeah, so this is a miss from Trey Lance here.
Mm-hmm.
In a pretty bad way in terms of, so usually when you have one of these concepts, so big picture perspective, you want to think of routes that are moving, slants and flats, things like that, as these are man beaters because they're going to run away from a man coverage. You want to think of sticks and hitches and things like that as zone beaters. And so when you wind up with these sticks over here, what you're trying to do is there's usually a defender in most zone coverages that's playing this kind of hook area right here. And you want to, whichever one he's closest to, you want to throw it to the other guy. And so usually in this situation, if you get man, you want to throw to this side. If you get zone, you want to throw to this side. And so the motion and the reason it goes across the formation is because you want to see what the defense does to answer it. Now, you already have somewhat of an idea that it's a version of zone coverage because you have wide receivers over here, but one of your corners stayed over here. So because the corner didn't flop, you usually are in a pretty good position to know, okay, it's probably going to be some sort of zone coverage. And then whenever you motion this guy all the way across the formation, you're changing the passing strength of the formation. So if it's man coverage, this guy is probably going to run across with him here. But instead, he just bumps back down to his normal alignment. This guy comes and rolls down. This corner comes and rolls down to his outside leverage spot here. And then it becomes pretty obvious very early in the snap that it's cover 2. And one of the worst things you can do in football is throw a flat into cover 2.
Yeah.
Especially if that's still that Jack Jones guy out there. Oh, no, it's not. But if you get a corner over here, if you get a nosy corner in cover 2, and a lot of teams will play 2 trap, which it looks like this might have been, but where they're trying to create they're trying to force this throw, because a lot of times against cover 2, you will throw this concept here where you'll throw a flat and then you'll run a corner. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get this corner to sink underneath that corner route so you can throw the flat, or have him drive up so you can throw the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Here, they're not doing that. They don't have the support of the corner route over the top. And so you're just basically you're throwing the ball into a sitting defender, and then he throws it behind him. Like we talked about some really good quarterback play there at the end of the first half, and this early part of the third quarter, it gets rough again for Trey Lance, where we're going to get goal posted here, but he's just like immediately off the snap, I'm going right. I don't know where he got his pre-snap read to tell him he should go to the right. But even like, if you read this right pre-snap, once you get the motion and you're like, okay, this is some sort of zone, you now have stick, and watch this guy right here over the ball. Boom, just put it in his chest right now. Same timing, same drop, just put it in his chest right now. And you could probably do the same thing on the outside too. Yep. Put it in his chest out there outside if you like that throw better. He doesn't. Then he makes a bad throw, and that's just not good. That's not great.
You're just happy that wasn't picked.
And that's exactly what it is. That's a whew. All right, next play. No, so now we got 3-by-1 down here to the field, or up here to the field side. And this looks like some sort of, I think some people call this China here.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like a double slant or double short in with a corner behind it. And then this guy on the backside is just running a slant, it looks like. Yep, there it is. He's open.
Blitz, got to get it out quick.
Yep, exactly. So pre-snap, here we are. They're showing 2. They've shown a bunch of show 2 and roll to 1, or show 1 and roll to 3. Here they go. Guy rolls down on the quarter side.
Yeah, it looks like they're no, that's yeah.
And right. Again, we talked about this last week, right? We talked about this,
4 over 3.
Yeah, we got 4 over 3, but we've also got essentially an overlap defender here, a cap guy, a cap defender here, where pretty clear pre-snap that this guy's coming. Next. You get the blitz up the middle. You're hot. That's pretty well done.
Yep.
See it before the snap. Boom. We're going to get goal posted again here. I'm not sure what old Dakota Shepley's doing down here.
Yeah.
That's the second game in a row where one of the guards is maybe the problem is consistent here, where somebody has been hung out to dry, where Cooper Beebe's been hung out to dry by a guard leaving his spot, leaving a guy. So in theory, you should be, the way it should work here, based on the way the protection moves, is, really he doesn't have to be hot here.
No, they have enough to block everybody.
Yeah, they've got it blocked up. Boom, boom. And then he would take the most dangerous, and he would hold on to here. I wonder if,
like, I really don't get why Dakota would let him go. There's no extra threat over there that he would need to help. Like, it's a one-on-one.
It looks like he thinks that this guy
is going to loop or something.
Yeah, because this guy kind of takes a little half jump step outside and then really attacks that outside angle. It looks like he thinks this guy's going to step hard and then come back inside. It looks like that he thinks there's a twist coming, and he's
thinking.
But the other side of that coin is, why would a guy make an inside swim move against you on an ET or on a TE like that?
Makes no sense.
None at all.
And that's why he's a practice squad.
Yep, exactly. That's why. And Josh Ball's playing tackle, which that's fun.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
But yeah, they get it blocked up. Other than Dakota Shepley, and it's just a flat out good ball. That's just good. Boom. Quick, boom, pow. Right on him.
Boom, boom, pow. Hey, jocking my style, Joey.
All right, next play I have marked here. I thought I marked them all, at least up until the middle of the fourth quarter. We may watch some run plays in the fourth quarter just because I didn't get all the way through marking them.
Quite all right.
Oh, yeah, so this is fun. This is, at this point, it's old school. 10 years ago when we first started doing this was revolutionary for a quarterback to have the freedom to look out here and see this distance out here and know he could get the ball in that guy's hands and throw a now screen like this on a run play.
Now they call these package plays.
Yep, they call these package plays. They call this, an alert. They call it a now. But the whole offense is running, what looks like some sort of a duo type play.
Inside zone duo. Decide for yourselves.
Yep, we're not going to argue about that here. Boom. Trey Lance sees that distance. And, there's a lot here. He sees the guy off. There's no way he had the chance to see this guy creep before the snap to know. It all happened too quick.
Mm-hmm.
So he just sees the distance. He saw that corner was lined up press, and he sees him bailing out, and he goes, okay, I got it. Boom, get it out there quick. Give my guy a chance.
This is where Dez used to feast on defenses, is on these little package plays.
Absolutely.
Make one miss and then bye-bye.
Yep, and the thing is, the plan on the play is to run duo, right? You're at the 18-yard line. You're going to run, or 19-yard line. You're going to run duo. You're trying to pick up 5 or 4 or 5 and, get to a second down play. And instead, you flip the ball out there, and now it's 2nd and 3. And you're in a way better spot here than you would be otherwise.
Easy buttons, like they say, easy buttons for the offense.
Exactly. How do you be able to take a play off as the quarterback and still pick up really positive yardage? 3rd and 7. Motion to a 2x2.
Got Deuce inserting.
Deuce inserting. Yep, you got double mug. You got a 7-man surface here because this guy's so close here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this guy, the likelihood that this guy comes is pretty low.
Yeah, there's no one to replace him.
Because there's nobody here. So the only one that could really, you'd think, would be able to replace him would probably be one of these two. And that's you'll see some of that in the regular season when you get some game planning type stuff. They both drop, looks like cover 3. So you got 1, 2, 3. Yep, spot drop 3. Boom.
It's not spot drop, Joe. You got to talk like Saban. It's country cover 3.
Country, yeah, Is this just? It looks like 4 slants. It looks like slant, and then some sort of slant stop or hitch or something like that.
Plays so much shows you that how small of a menu the Cowboys offense is operating under in the preseason.
Yeah. Boom. So here's your underneath slant and your second slant there. So that's why the ball usually goes to the second slant on double slants. And then he's running.
Like the spacing of those top 2, though.
So this is where you can get some clues about what guys are supposed to be doing. I think the outside receiver, who is that? 6. That's the new guy, right? Butler or something like that.
Burnett, I think.
Burnett, yeah. I think he runs the wrong route. Because the route by the tight end here looks like stick or hitch or something like that. And so we've seen several times, double slants to one side and then a hitch and a go or double hitches or something like that. I don't think he's supposed to run a slant right there.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I think he's supposed to run a go.
Because the way he runs it, that hook curl defender could defend both slants.
Exactly. So like there's no world where you're supposed to have where you would design two guys to both be looking at the quarterback in that area like that. Like here you've got some horizontal spacing between these two guys, even if they're at relatively similar depths. You've got some horizontal spacing to be able to stretch this guy. This guy's not making a play on this backside slant if you throw it. Now, on the other hand, the way he runs his route up there pulls that curl flat defender out a little bit and gives you time to be able to put that ball on him because it looks like it's a little later than you'd like, which is why it gets deflected. But let's get to our behind.
I don't think that slot defender even sees the outside slant. His eyes are inside the entire time.
They sure are. Okay, so this is a great look because this is the difference between. I mean, he does a good job getting because he winds up going all the way across the field. So he goes 1 to 2, all the way to 3 here. 1, 2, 3, as JT would say, count to 3. You can play for me. And so he gets back to the zone side of the field. Boom. Okay. Boom. Nope. Okay. Coming back here. Got to get it out. So maybe it's not late. Maybe it's just the.
I think I would still say he's a tick slow. You can see he kind of holds it to confirm before he lets it go.
Yeah, it's also interesting that. Well, I guess he sees the linebacker's drop there because he's basically eyeing him right down, so he knows he's not dealing with free runners. Oof.
Getting payback from the Rams.
Let's do it again.
Like right there, he should throw it now.
Yes.
But then he takes that. You see how he pats the ball once and then lets go?
Yeah, we get sky cammed a little bit. Maybe we can get back from the other angle. We won't get sky cammed right here. Boom. Pop, pop, pop.
Like right there. Then he pats and then throws. And that just gives the corner that tiny extra space to get a hand in.
Yeah, and it's interesting because on this double slant back here, you really shouldn't read it 1, 2, 3. This is kind of really a read this guy right here type of play.
Yeah.
So in theory, you should just go, bam, that guy's wide. I don't have that slant. And then I should be backside. And you see him, he gets back there pretty quick. But like you said, he's not like violent or purposeful about that transition there. Mm-hmm. He does a good job, being to the left side here at the top of his drop, which is what you want if you're going to throw it over here. But then you want to see him like, boom, flip the hips back to the other side real quick and then get – and this is let's get back to this look here because this will give us a good – we talked before about the ups and the downs and the moves and all the moving pieces going on with Trey Lance, and this is a great look at it. So he's back here, but instead of being – so he's in throwing position here, and then when he comes backside, although his shoulders go one way and his eyes never go that way. There it is right there. Okay, so eyes are that way. So he knows – look at his eyes already. They're already coming across. Boom. But when he comes across, that's not in throwing position right there. It takes him that extra little hop like you talked about, John. Doop, 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 boom, pop. Now he's in throwing position. Versus if he comes back in his drop with purpose, doop, doop, pop, and he's in throwing position here, now as soon as he flips his hips, he needs to flip his hips into throwing position now. And if he's in throwing position now, ball's out, it's a catch. It's a 6-yard gain on 3rd and 7. You're probably going for it on 4th down.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it's an incomplete pass and you're punting. All right. We'll go to the next one. 1st and 10. I do think the fourth quarter is some of the best football he's played.
Yeah, I would agree.
Play action. Here we go again. Play action to throw an outside ball. I don't necessarily understand it, but it's a good play. This is the Cowboys run this, like, this is a lot of their hard play action game, which is kind of frustrating as a guy who watches this stuff. Deep comeback, lots of bodies in here. You're going to run hard play action, and then you're going to throw this isolated comeback route over here on the outside. Max protect, 7 and a hitch, hit him in the chest, and away we go. Boom.
Good blitz pickup by Nathaniel Pete, too.
Mm-hmm. Good blitz pickup. They did a pretty good job up front. Princeton Fant's giving the lookout block. Ball's out, hits him in the chest, first down. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Run play. 2nd and 7. Run play. That's one thing they did a better job of in this game, was not just like, okay, we're going to go out and throw the ball every snap in the late parts of this game. We're going to give Trey some snaps off and let him play in more of a rhythm than just like, hey, we're going to drop you back 45 times in the game. All right, 3-by-1.
They rotate to cover 3.
Yep. Same thing as before with the coverage, which again just goes to show you how limited the menu is here in the preseason. And you're going to get something like this, double slants or double ends, and then like a little kind of wrap over, like post glance kind of situation. I think this guy's running.
Clear out.
Yep, exactly. Kind of play action by the running back to kind of maybe try to pull the linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really get it. You get your kind of double short ends there. Not there. Roll, try to make a play. This might be one that you just say, like, this is the hard balance that you have with a guy like Trey Lance, is because for some quarterbacks, you just say, hey, dude, you're at the top of the drop and it's not there. Just put it right on that guy and let him go try to do something. But with a guy like Trey Lance, sometimes you're better off with him outside the pocket, trying to make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
He winds up getting to the check down anyway, but that's one of those that it's hard to be upset at him for thinking, hey, I got to make a play here instead of just checking the ball down.
Look at that hold by ball.
Oh, yeah. Throw the flag. It's after the hold, 3rd and 17. Little 3-by-1 nub. So this is a tight end right here. 3-by-1 with the tight end is the only guy on the backside. 3-by-1 nub.
It's a very college formation.
Yes, very college formation. Nice chip help there. And he's going to run this chip and then run shallow across here, and then you're going to get 3. And so this is a big shot play, which is.
Yeah, 3rd and 17, you got to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So what you're going to do is you're going to get chip help here on the edge, and then you're going to run across. You're going to run a shot, like a comeback type situation, and then you're going to run a seam, and then you're going to run this like big, like monster post from the slot right there. Checks it down. Guy goes and makes a pretty good play. And so this is the other side of that. Hey, just check it down on time play from before. Is instead of taking off out of the pocket, he's like, oh, okay, boom, check it down. This guy's got one-on-one with a chance to go make a play. So that's a balance that a quarterback like Trey Lance has to find. That 4th and 2, I think they run it up run it up inside here. All right, and that's the end of the plays that I have marked. But I'm going to get to John. I know you may have to go. I'm going to try to get through these last few plays here.
All right. I'll see y'all later.
Appreciate you
y'all.
joining me, man. Let's get back to our 22 angle here on this one. Yep, so you're going to get this. It winds up being like a fast 4. And so what that means is you wind up, they do it from the slot here, but you can wind up with a running back right here or a guy right here. And you go from trips to now we're going to create 4 to a side. We're going to create quads, but we're going to do it fast. So we're going to run this guy over here in a hurry. And they're going to throw this like, different guys will call it different things, but they're going to basically throw this little bubble screen right here to this running back who's going to catch the ball on the run. And in theory, you get a cut block here. So this guy's not going to make the play. And then you get 1, 2, 3. And then you get this guy one-on-one on a safety down the field if you get everybody blocked up. And then this is the problem that Trey Lance has had. Oh, geez, I lost it. Oh, no, I hit the wrong button and lost it. Oh, well. But we've seen Trey Lance have problems. Here it is. With the easy throw to the flat. Like this should not be a throw that's difficult for him to make. He should be able to hit this guy right on the upfield shoulder right here and let him catch the ball and run. And instead, he kind of dirts it. And look at his feet. Look at Trey Lance's feet as he makes the throw. Here we go. Watch he comes in motion. Watch the drop and then watch the feet as he fades. He's going to be fading away from it the whole time. There's no need for this little hop there. Just step into the throw, hit him in the upfield shoulder, and let him go to work. And he just missed it. I did miss somewhere in here one of the plays that I was hoping to highlight, which I think it's this one here. Yeah, okay, so this is one of my favorite concepts in football. So this is play action, this is dagger. So this guy's going to run a deep. Some guys will run it straight up the seam. Sometimes they'll run a post. Doesn't really matter. And then this guy's going to run a deep dig behind it. And you're trying to hit this guy in this range right here. And you're going to get your play action. You're going to get your wide receiver or your quarterback, your running back released over there off the outside. Boom. You get max protect. You got plenty of time. Here you go. You see your guy running their man off. You got deep, big cushion right there. Tons of space. Boom. And this is really good from Trey Lance. This is some of the best, like just play action, drop back, top of the drop, hitch, pow. Ball's out on the body, on the break, as our buddy JT would say. Throws it on the break. Boom. Puts it right in his eyes. If you don't catch it, it's going to get stuck in your helmet. Boom. Give your guy a chance to make the guy miss. And that's a big chunk. That's really good. Here we go. Going to get sky cammed again. That's all right. Play action. Fake. Pull it back to top of the break, one hitch, pow. Right on his body, right in his eyes. That's good. That's just good. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We had some fun. I had some fun. I hope you guys did too. Going through this tape, going through what we saw from Trey Lance. And I'm excited a little bit. I think we saw a little bit more than I think we saw more of the good stuff than we saw last week for Trey Lance, but still a lot of things on the tape that you say, oh man, this maybe just not quite there yet, but progress, which is exactly what you want to see. We're going to get to see a lot of him again once we get to the third preseason game that's coming up week. And yeah, so we will be back tomorrow. John and I will go through our normal stuff. We'll talk about Spider-Man memes on Instagram stories and all the other kind of stuff. But you guys have a good one. We will see you guys on Tuesday.